Welcome back to another episode of Generation Red, the kettle corn of Husker Fan Podcast, where we try to be sweet, but at times we get salty. I am one of your hosts, Ken.
And hey, folks, it's Scott.
And I am your other host, Coach B.A.
Coach B.A., freshly back home from Uniontown, where you were coaching all day today. Yep. Friday night was your first game.
Yes.
Was that I know we swapped texts, and I almost wanted to ask you about it, but at the same time, hey, it's your life, and everybody who watches us are kind of part of this journey too. So how did that go? Thanks the other day. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I think that our boys came out and battled really hard. We played against a pretty good football team. Battled real hard. We came out guns a-blazing. We went into halftime up 16-0. It was a very wet and rainy night, so it was not a kicking field goals night and 1A Kansas football. It was a go for 2-point conversion kind of night with how wet and sloppy it could be. Converted all of our 2-point conversions, went up 16-0 going into half. I'd say my best lineman took real bad injury, went down right before halftime. Came out of the second half. The other team battled back. We got it to 16-14. They brought it back within 2. Then we scored. We had a real long touchdown drive to go up 24-14 with about 8 minutes left. And they had a real long touchdown run, accidental onside kick. They kicked an onside kick that kind of bounced their way. It just bounced off one of our players. It wasn't on purpose, just bounced the wrong way. They got it back, and we ended up taking a tough loss, 30-24. It was definitely a heartbreaker. But, hey, life goes on. You know what I mean? We got another game here in a few days, trying our best to flush it. But it was a heartbreaking one. It reminded me a little bit. You know, my dad sat in the stands. He said, dang, you are a Nebraska football fan, aren't you? He knew how, it's like, hey, that one hurt, but like it got me to laugh a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny because if I remember right, let me look here. How did you text it? It was so funny.
I'm pretty sure I referenced it.
Yes, you did. And by the way, took a tough L. I coached the Nebraska is Kansas high school football.
Yep, that's how I felt. I was like, hey, this is a Nebraska way to lose a game. About 7.5 minutes left. The score's 24-14, and we end up losing 30-24. But, hey, we had a good night. It was a very run-heavy night. You guys know me. I'm an air raid guy, but the way the weather conditions ended up, we ended up running the ball quite a bit, had 199 yards rushing, and I won't even say our passing attempts. I will say it was not a passing night. We threw a touchdown pass, though, but the yardage is nowhere near where we will be normally. I won't throw my boys under the bus.
I got you, man. I got you. How the kids responded this week? I mean,
I will say they were they were very heartbroken on Friday night. Understandably, they were upset. Just obviously, I think just with themselves, the whole situation. But they've responded very well this week. Yesterday, JV guys were gone. Funny story, my JV guys drove 2 hours for a bus trip for a game that ended up getting canceled due to weather. So that was a fun time for them yesterday. But my varsity dudes I had responded very well. They responded very well, and they're ready to kind of put this past us. We did some film session work, and we had a great day of practice today, so we're ready to move forward.
Sounds good. So Friday night's game this week is not at home, right? It's going to be kind of in the Kansas City area?
Yep, it is in the Kansas City area against Maranatha Christian Academy, and we're playing against another dang good football team. I will say we don't have a lot of cupcakes on the schedule. We're playing some tough competition going forward, and we're ready to get going,
Yep, I hear you, buddy. I hear you. My calendar is absolutely wide open on Friday, other than I think that morning I'll be working out in the yard to get a foundation kind of set down for a shed we're going to put out in the backyard and whatnot. So, but once that's done, I'm planning to head down that way and watch.
That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool, man.
Anyway, because it's only 2.5 hours. That's a lot easier than the 4.5 or 5 that have been in But my eye surgery went fantastic. I couldn't believe how easy it was. I probably could have driven down there that night, but by the time I got done with the surgeon and got home and got some food and whatnot, it would have been a good 4 o'clock before I could have headed your direction. So I didn't think that was going to work. So
it's all good. And I'll tell you, if you would have seen me after the game, it probably looked like I got hit by a bus. It was all good. It was just one of those, a lot of things change very quickly, much like Nebraska football. And, hey, things are changing very quickly in a positive direction right now, boys.
For certain, things are definitely changing in the positive for the positive. You've seen the video of Coach Rhule losing his stuff in the locker room right at halftime.
I have to say that was amazing. Now, hey, you brought it up, not me. I have to throw this out there. I'm just going to – what do you guys think? I mean – I don't see a ton of leaked videos having bleeps in it. I'm just throwing that conspiracy theory.
Just the video quality alone, like there's no way.
Saying. There's also that. There is also that. I love it. Regardless, it doesn't matter to me. I love it. I just thought that was kind of interesting to read the Twitter conspiracy theories.
Yeah, here's quote unquote leaked footage from the locker room, kind of deal.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
hey, either way, I loved it. It got me fired up, and
yep,
we'll find some. Hopefully, I have a time to use that. Hopefully, there's a time where I'm up by 33 points and I can go yell at my boys about something.
Get pissed off that that they let somebody drive and try a field goal. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. But yeah, you transitioned us right to the game really, really well, Coach. It was nothing short of an absolute destruction. Nebraska did anything and everything that they could the right way, other than the first quarter was a little bit of a letdown, and you easily could have seen them scoring in the 80s had we not had those letdowns in the first quarter. And they should have put 7 points on the board in the second quarter too, getting the ball clear down inside the 25-yard line. But is what it is. They just exploded for the rest of the game, and that was really fun to see. Scott, you kind of mentioned it earlier before we went live that you watched it, and I was listening to it. I was stuck at a wedding until midway through the second quarter. So, excuse me. You said it was surgical. Watching it, it was absolutely surgical. It was very precise and, quite frankly, a whole lot of fun to watch. So what were your thoughts, Scott, about the entire game, really?
It was just nice to be able to kick my legs up and enjoy a football game with no stress. Because even when we played teams like North Dakota and, Troy, and there's been many cupcake, quote unquote, teams that we've played in the past where there were just periods, there were sections of the game where it didn't feel like we were dominating. And so even though we came away, we had a win is a win and whatnot, it never really felt good. It never really sat right. It never did. I would never admitted it then, and I'll especially never allude to that now. This is the first game in a very, very, very long time since probably when we played Northwestern in, what was that, 2021?
2021, yep.
Yeah. That was the last time where I felt like we truly just took a game by the nuts and just wreaked all sorts of havoc. And just being able to sit back and relax and have my heart rate be at a consistent level the whole time and be able to just watch the game and analyze it for good, for the good. Just watching the sequences of plays happen the way that they did. It was, like I said, it was surgical. It was whatever it was we were trying to do, we were doing it almost 100% of the time. And then guys were just out there making plays. That's truly what it boils down to. The other thing that I can't remember, when was the last time we ever put we started rotating second and third stringers and never felt a drop off? I was waiting to get that, oh man, here we go. It's clearly obvious. It's clearly obvious that our second and third stringers are being rotated in there. There were a few moments where you're like, oh, they kind of pushed our defensive line a little bit more than I'm comfortable with. Oh, they kind of penetrated into our interior of the field a little bit more than I'm comfortable with. But other than that, there really wasn't a huge drop off between the first team talent, second and third team talent. That is kind of the best takeaway I can conjure up when I think about the game. My main takeaway is, damn, those second and third stringers look good.
No, I 100% agree. I will preemptively apologize. I got some kids wandering around me at the moment, so if you hear some background noise, I preemptively apologize for a little bit. Might be a thing for a couple minutes. But I will just say I completely agree with your take there. I think that was my biggest takeaway as well, was just how good like the second, third team guys. Dude, I forgot the stat, but like that Sean Callahan put, just how many dudes played in that game. How many
108.
Yeah. That is insane. Very sorry about that.
You're fine.
But yeah, no, that's an insane stat.
Yes, it's quite crazy that, yeah, because I think we have a roster of like 120 something. So that means that there was only 20 guys, give or take, that didn't see the field. And a lot of those were more than likely due to injury or just complete and total, so far down on the depth chart. They're really just there as a warm body, which there's probably only a few of those guys. Maybe now that I say that, it's probably not a great take. Everybody's useful. Everybody has a role. Yeah, just the rotation of guys. Yeah, Dad, what did you think? Because I know you were alluding to it earlier. You were talking about the difference between watching the game and then listening to the game. What did you think of TJ Lateef?
Fortunately, I was able to see him when he first came in the game, because at that point, he came in the third quarter. So I got to hear what he was doing. They were really giving him effusive praise on the radio for sure. Which, by the way, for anybody who hasn't really listened to a game yet on the radio, do yourself a favor and do so. Kyle Crooks is fantastic, and he and Damon Benning have a phenomenal chemistry together already. So check him out. He does a great job calling the game and calling the plays and formations and all that stuff. But to what I thought, you were absolutely correct, Scott. It was a surgical game. It was a game in which it seemed like, at least on offense, they knew exactly where they wanted to go, exactly what they wanted to do. Receivers were wide open all over the field. That drag route to Hunter was a thing of beauty, because it looked like he had 2 or 3 guys that he could have thrown to, but it had been a little tougher. And then all of a sudden 13 comes flashing across and nobody was within 4 or 5 yards of him. And just the scheming, the things that Holgorsen, and damn it, Coach Rhule let him cook. Let him go. Just, hey, let's do it. And then you realize, in the context of what happened in the locker room at halftime, this coming on the heels of Coach Rhule saying last week that he expects and prepares that every game they're going to play in is going to be like 17-16. And, my initial reaction to that is, oh, great, just plant that seed in our heads all day long. That's great. Awesome. I don't know if your team really wants to believe that. And then now we see the behind the scenes in the locker room. 33-0 isn't good enough yet. We've got to keep at it, keep the hammer down, keep the guys down that we should be keeping down, and beat them like they should be beat. And, as Bill Dolman said a couple times on the Average Joe Sports Show, maybe this was kind of a little bit of a revenge game, because Joe Moorhead took the Fordham team and beat Temple with it when Rhule was the coach at Temple. So you don't know. Maybe there was a little bit of beat down that he wanted to do. But anyway, I thought it was fantastic. I thought the entire game, other than those little boo-boos in the first quarter going into the second, I mean, they didn't quit scoring after that. They just didn't. It was beautiful.
Incredible. Yeah, Coach, do you have any other thoughts of when you watched the game? Was there a specific kind of pattern that you saw that you were really particularly fond of, or were there any concerns that you had?
I think that we recovered well from the All right, it's about to calm down. Give me one. I'm sorry.
No, dude,
right.
just keep rolling with it.
No, I'll just.
Buddy, this is a podcast. We're not a radio show. It's all good.
No, but no, I think that once we really got those kind of issues worked out, kind of like you said, like they just kept. I was waiting for the slowdown point. Like I was waiting for that to really hit. Of like, hey, once we get to like 30 something points, 40s, I was just waiting for the drop to happen. You know what I mean? And it just kept going, which, man, hey, Scott, you were talking about all the games that have gone our way when we played some of these lower scale opponents, you know, like I just think, man, we just dominated these dudes. Like I'm telling you, like the lowest moment of my Husker fandom, I felt like was the Georgia Southern game. You know what I'm saying? So like to have a lower tier opponent come in and we don't just beat them again, like we dominate them. And just again, I know this is going to sound crazy. I'm actually glad that we struggled a little bit in just areas. You know what I mean? I'm glad that we had some of those missteps because then we saw how we rebounded from it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like some of those bad things happened and it wasn't oh crap, here we go again. You know what I mean? Like it was same thing against Cincinnati. You know what I mean? It was, hey, some bad things happened early and oh man, because we rolled. Like I remember feeling good about how UTEP went last year, but like that was nothing compared to this. Like, I do understand that Akron is god awful, but I feel like in the past that hasn't mattered. You know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't matter how bad that opponent is.
UTEP wasn't good last year.
UTEP was terrible. Yeah,
we went 33-0 in the first half. In the second half, we scored 7?
Something like something like that.
The very next week, we jump out 28-0 on Colorado. We end up winning 28-10. Northern Illinois was nothing to really write home about. It took a few late scores to make that comfortable. And then you roll into Illinois and we're surprised. Oh, wait, we couldn't figure out how to score in the second half. Well, that'd been a storyline all year. This is different, though. This isn't a Satterfield called offense.
This was a Dana Holgorsen call. I'll tell you, boys, something. I know we already talked about my game, but I will throw. I was thinking of Dana Holgorsen on Friday night during my game on one of our 2-point conversions. I ran quads, 4 receivers to the right side. I ran a bubble screen. I was thinking I just unlocked my inner Dana Holgorsen of just, hey, I'm going to let my nuts hang a little bit, and we're going to show some stuff off, you know?
Let him dangle and throw the ball, huh?
Oh, yeah, no, but I'll just – hey, I was very happy with the Dana Holgorsen led offense. Obviously, I think everybody is, you know, but it was really – I just loved how intense that was. And like you mentioned, just I'm sure that halftime speech kept things going. And we'll see when the next time any of these lower – I would just wonder how many schools are going to be lining up to – I think we may have to raise the price tag a little bit to come to Memorial Stadium.
For sure. Anyway, what we're going to do tonight to kind of talk and get into a little detail about the game, guys, is we're going to do things a little differently. I've found a highlight video that have all the highlights from the game, and I've split them up by first, second, third, and fourth quarter. We're just going to watch the highlight video, talk about it a little bit, summarize it when we get done with each quarter, and move on to the next. So it should be a lot of fun. Then, of course, we got our Game Ball Awards coming up at the end of that. And, of course, we will give you our score predictions for Houston Christian. There's really not much to preview about them except that they're an FCS opponent who's coming in for a paycheck. Simple as that. So that's the plan. And you can get some Generation Red merch here before we move into the highlights. Just go to genredpod.com. At the very top of the page is a gray bar. Click on that gray bar, and that'll take you right to our merchandise page. You can get the new logo on a hoodie and a t-shirt. And then, of course, we got the old school stuff as well still up there. So as old school as we can be as a podcast that's been around since 2021. So that's the plan there. So anyway, let's jump into the highlights. You guys ready to watch these? This is going to be fun. I've watched this game like 4 times and I still
I'm pumped for this. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's one. Oh, man. Anyway, we'll get to it. Here we go.
Work is sponsored by Graduate by Hilton. In the background, you may hear some fireworks going off, and what you see
in 2025 for this Husker squad.
Akron won the toss. They've deferred their option. Nebraska will receive.
Wasn't too bad
as
of a
Owen
return.
Wiley kicks it off, and it's a return opportunity here for the Huskers, and going down is
Just ran into his own guy's
Williams
butt
as he
cheek.
brings in different receivers, 9 different receivers overall, and really flourished in Dana
Yeah, there was a
Holgorsen's
lot of
offense,
plays
and he
that I
opens it up
remember
with
where
a nice
just
pass and
one
even
shoelace
better catch
tackle away
as
from
Isaiah Hunter,
massive
who in
gains.
his
Zone early from the
Happened
Huskers.
and
multiple
so
times.
Rhule will
Oh,
look to
for
throw
sure.
again after 42 heaves last week.
Howdy,
Instead,
Moonbot.
handed off,
Good to
no
see you,
pass
buddy.
here, one completion,
Good Lord,
then
that
a flag
avatar.
to line,
Sure,
including Teddy Prohaska, back from missing all of 2024 due to injury. Here's a third down pass.
What a nice layered throw right there, though. That is the things I love about Dylan, how he layers those throws in there.
And how good a hands does Lindenmeyer have? I mean, I don't think he's dropped one yet this year.
Yeah, he caught a one-handed pass.
And here's, of course, the
Hey,
good
this got
touchdown
me out of my seat. This got me out of my seat on Saturday.
pass. I was
Waiting
sitting
for
at
that.
a table at the wedding reception that my wife dragged me to. And I'm sitting with my brother-in-law, your Uncle Ron and Aunt Pam, Scott. And he's looking at his ESPN ticker on his phone to catch what's going on with the game. And when that run was broke off, I was just sitting there smiling. He goes, "What are you smiling about?" I said, "Well, I'm listening to the game in my hearing aids." He goes, "Oh, you're cheating." I said, "Yes, I am." And he just ripped off a 47-yarder for a touchdown. And then it popped up on his phone like 2 seconds later. He goes, "Oh, so you're going to spoil it for me all night, are you?"
A quick throw is caught, and it's a first down. As Marcel Williams picks up
That was a
first
rough
down yardage
tackling effort. I can't lie, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
Nice return by Barney, who was banged up last
But
week
that was
against
the only
Bears.
highlight they had.
Ran it to the
Yeah.
33,
Time.
and Rhule is going to have all the way until it
Yes.
feels like October to throw
Takes
the
it out of
ball.
bounds.
Ultimately,
Yep.
Decisive. Didn't force it anywhere stupid.
sling it downfield, and it's caught. 50-yard line, Hunter down the side.
Oh, what a...
I
It's
love
just such a
that-
subtle.
I love the
First
decision
week,
to just not go out of bounds right away. I love that.
That's the longest play
Showed
from
some
scrimmage
toughness.
this year, passing-wise for Nebraska anyway.
Yeah, there's the one-handed catch.
Look at those hands.
And he just does it so effortlessly.
We're going to hear a lot
Confident.
of huge chants in the stadium this year.
And they've moved
It's
the
going to
ball
sound
Yep.
like teams playing again.
Oh, just such a good move.
Barney caught it
Yep.
and
He's a
maneuvers down
jitterbug.
for first down yardage.
For considering the fact that he got absolutely destroyed in that tackle he
Oh.
had to take last week.
Man, I will say this deflated me, but as we already talked about, the more that kept going, I was glad we could bounce back from this.
Yep.
That was
The
a
move he
bummer.
makes in the backfield was sick. Just that jump cut is so good. Very Amir Abdullah-esque, his jump cut.
I really thought this was a safety. I can't lie.
I did too. And I mean, I don't blame Rhule for checking it to see if
Oh, I
it,
agree. Hey, this is a challenge I
it was.
totally like
there
that
it
he
is.
did.
This dude is going to be a monster.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But,
Yeah.
it's spelled Peturzak or Pieturzak or whatever, but yeah, it's Czech, so it's Petchak or Polish or one of the two. I'm not sure which, but man, he was just blew right by the guard.
Don't need ourselves James Williams anymore. We got
The other
another
day,
white boy
it says in
wearing
the chat,
93.
Could watch this game on loop 24/7, at least until Michigan. Yes, sir, I could too. There might be one this Saturday that we could do the same with. I don't know. I have a feeling we're going to put some points up there
Just
too.
an absolute dart.
Perfect throw.
He
Threaded
was
the
on
needle.
Fire.
Well, he completed his first 9 and set a new consecutive completions record in this game.
And
There
this
we go.
this was a heck of a play right there, dude. That was a heck of a grab. I was not
Great catch.
expecting that from
Yeah.
Ives. Not that he's not the type of back that, all of a sudden I think is getting those bobbled grabs,
The thing that I notice about the significance of the psychology, I think, of a person being able to make athletic one-handed catches that we saw 3 or 4 times during this game. Oh, geez.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah. I was trying to keep it as quiet as possible so we could talk. So the one-handed catches, the thing that I've noticed with our guys is they look comfortable. They look confident and comfortable that you can't just casually just reach your hand out and just confidently bring it to your chest unless you feel absolutely confident and comfortable in your ability to do so, which is something that our skill players haven't had in years. It's taken years. When is the last time that we can look at a game where we were consistently making comfortable athletic 100%, plays?
Because it's not just it's not just like one guy or like one and another guy makes a play. It's like you said, consistently all across the board. Yeah. It's like I can't even think of a time. I mean, I'm sure there has been. I'm just off the top of my head, I can't even think of one.
It's the first game in real, just in memory period, where it's like, I mean, we've had guys, we've had dogs before. Like Jordan Westerkamp was one of those dudes that like you just threw him the ball and he was comfortable and talented enough that he just had glue for hands. But just seeing a whole team just like they were catching the passes that were thrown to their hands, but then they were doing the extra step of catching skill balls. And obviously it was against Akron and there's a certain level of comfort when you're up by, 2 or 3 scores at a certain point. But I mean, Lindenmeyer did that one-handed catch before we even, was that before we even got on the board?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like,
crazy.
I'll be curious to see how this extrapolates throughout the rest of the season. Are we going to see
that
more
one-handed
of those?
catch was on the second drive, right before Emmett fumbled.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, that was first quarter. Nebraska's up 9-0. We go to the second quarter. And, let's just take a look at those highlights here. Tried that jump cut again. Didn't quite get it. Didn't quite find that room he was looking for.
Hey, field goal operations looking a lot better.
Oh, you see who's there he is right there. Camden Cook.
Yeah.
Sam Cook's brother or little brother, son. One of the best punters Nebraska's ever had. He's
you're a Nebraska fan when you're saying things like, "Wow, our field goal operation looks really good."
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it hasn't.
I will never take that for granted ever again.
Nope.
100%.
Special teams is something I will cherish deep in my heart.
I really like this. I know it didn't, really do much, but I really like that play design.
Yeah.
Right there. I know it didn't do much, but the inner coach in me really loved that play design.
That was a good time to pull that ball down and go. Just needed to get 3 or 4. Looks like he's going to be able to do that this year, at least against the Akrons of the world at this point. Nice 9-yard gain on first down. And pow.
Boom.
That is so
kills it.
Beautiful hole. What I would tell my kids is I could go drive my car through that thing.
It's the
he had zero hesitation.
Harburg. Watching Harburg catch that end as he's coming into the backfield and just lighten him up. It's beautiful.
My takeaway has been he's a real tight end. He's not a gimmick tight end.
Nope.
And you got to give credit to Marcus Satterfield.
Boom. Yep.
He has our tight end room looking good.
They're balling, they're blocking, they're catching, they're doing everything we need them to do.
I think he is a great tight ends coach.
Yep.
And so I remember, I'll swallow my pride. I remember being very skeptical of us retaining him, but I'm okay with being wrong if it means a unit looks good.
Yep.
Right.
Beautiful.
All right, here we go on defense. Man alive, they had a good 5 or 6 legitimate drops that should have been completions.
Yeah, we did get a little bit lucky there on quite a few plays.
Awful lot of. Damon Benning mentioned it at least 3 or 4 times while I was listening to the game that Nebraska would get caught in a stunt on some of those run plays up the middle. Is that kind of what you saw, Coach, as you watched the game back?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Stunning up front, and they just kind of ran that little delay up in there.
Yeah, and that's just it's just a bad timing thing sometimes, you know.
Yep. Well,
once again, in the hands.
Yep.
Hey, unrelated thing about Akron is their jersey font is horrific. It's just as bad as their offense. I'm sorry, but it's bad.
Font on their name on the back or their numbers?
Both.
All of it?
Both. I think it looks terrible.
Kind of atrocious. Oh, what a great!
I don't know if there's any Akron football fans that actually exist in the real world that aren't alumni, and I'm sure even they root for another team. But
good block right there on the edge by Lindenmeyer. I mean, every time I look at a successful running play, you know, there's a tight end that's blocking down on somebody very, very well. Here comes Harburg again. Got in his way. That's all you needed. I know for those of you listening to the podcast, this is a little hard to hear what's going on, but we're watching this, obviously watching the quarter hard highlights, and I'm gonna do my best to pot up the volume on the highlight reel as we when I put this audio out. So hopefully it'll sound good. That's such a great throw. Good feet.
Dude, he's just so good. He sometimes leaves me at a loss for words other than just like, that is such a talented throw. Like, it's just the textbook. What do you want from your quarterback? How do you want this ball to get in there? And it's exactly what you would want.
In stride, out in front of him a little bit. All he's got to do is squeeze it and run. Just perfectly thrown. Bip right there. Great feet.
Yeah. Really happy for Clark to get one too.
Yep.
That was really cool.
Have him, flash up the 32 for his dad.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I'd forgotten all about the fact that in 1986, when Oklahoma State came to Memorial Stadium, Kenny Clark ran for more yards than Barry Sanders did that night.
Oh, wow.
He ran for like 259, and Sanders ran for 186. Oh, God,
what a night for Lindenmeyer, for obviously more reasons than I'd say just a football game, but what a night for him overall. A night he'll probably never forget.
When you look at that haircut on the clip there that he's got, and you see that headband he wears all the time, he really needs to stop acting like, Dylan Raiola. Or maybe he's trying to be Pat Mahomes too. I don't know.
33-0.
33 zippers. Yep.
Which we all find out Coach Rhule was not happy with.
No.
Which I feel like 33-0 was like
have that clip.
it was like destined to be a shutout, considering that we went into halftime with the same score that we last got a shutout with.
Yeah.
It was destined to be. It was written in the stars, as some may say.
That's interesting. The other Dave wrote in the live chat here that there was only 39,000 beers sold at the Akron game. Need to bring back the guys that go up and down the aisles every 10 minutes. That's a great idea, Dave. I'm not exactly sure why they didn't, other than the fact
I don't know. That is one of the biggest complaints that I heard.
And doink, the field goal.
This is when I said, okay, we could get a shot.
We're in good shape.
When that bounced, you know what I mean? Like when that hit the ground, I was like, oh yeah.
That was the good Lord himself throwing us a bone.
Yes.
Yep.
He's like, no, you're getting a shutout today.
Nebraska fans, this is the sign. This is your year.
Yeah, for sure. Now, unfortunately, I did not get the quote unquote leaked clip of Coach Rhule going nuts in the locker room, but it's out there. Anybody can find it. It's all over Twitter. So if you want to look for it, you can find it.
I'm in a lot of group chats that have I'm the only Husker fan in there, and they were sending it in there. Like that's how it wasn't just a Husker story. It became a college football story. You know what I mean? Which I thought was kind of cool because it's not very often that some of the coaches group chats I'm in send Nebraska things very often.
Yeah, I thought so too, and I thought they came out with a fire, just as much fire as they had early in the game, if not more. I mean, hey, they put up 33 in the first, and they put up 35 in the second, including 21 points after the starters sat down. So, that was what was really exciting for me. So we'll hop in here. We'll grab the third quarter, take a look, and some of this is a little jerky. I think the
it always gets jerky right at the beginning.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was a great play right there. Marshall's not afraid to stick his head in there, is he?
Nope.
Ooh.
Comfortable.
I still think if Rhule would have not had a blitz in his face, I think he leads Barney a little bit more with that throw, and that could have scored. But, I mean, he had a dude right on his left shoulder just as he let that ball go.
I love this.
Nice. Yep.
Spin move.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hit that.
If they know that they've got 13 to 15 yards that he's going to scramble for at any given time in the game, it just changes the way the defensive coordinator has to scheme us.
Oh, yeah. Dude, what I can't just wrap my head around is the total yardage discrepancy that they just showed before that touchdown run, 443 to 76.
Yeah.
That is insanity.
This was what it was like to watch Husker games back in the 90s when not every game was on TV, and you'd go to the stadium and you'd watch us play somebody like this, and we're dropping 50 and 60 and 70 points. This is what it was like. This is what you're supposed to do to teams like this, not let them hang around or get in a shootout with them a la Georgia Southern. You're not supposed to do that if you're a Nebraska football team.
100%.
So at this point, it's 40-0. They're moving the ball a little bit. Akron is. Is this where we block the field goal? Or is that? Yeah, I think they're going this direction when we block the field goal. So I think they basically put up the white flag in the fourth quarter. Yep. Yeah, this is where.
Yeah.
And this is after Rhule screamed at him. I can only imagine what was going on the sideline.
Yeah, I remember telling Levi, because it was just me and Levi for once Amber and the kiddos left at halftime.
And Riley Van Poppel.
Yep. So once Amber and the kiddos left at halftime, it was just Levi and I. And I remember sitting there and I'm like, Levi, we're blocking this. It's just meant to be. Like, it's happening.
What a touch.
And when it did, he just looked at me with his eyes wide open. He's like, no way. I was like,
and then what a touch throw right there.
That was a crazy touch throw there. And, man, this got me very hyped as well. Just the run after catch, like, man.
Yep, I agree. Good throw there, too.
That was also – I love that play design as well.
And here it is, this thing.
Absolute dart.
Yep.
That is just –
Gosh.
you can't – there is nothing you can do to teach that. What just happened, like, that's not
coaching. Dog.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a – doesn't matter. You could have
dog
the
play.
Teaching staff in the world. That is just – you can't teach that.
You either have it or you don't.
Yes. You can't teach the throw. You can't teach the catch. You can't, that was just all – we got some dogs.
The other Dave in the live chat asked if we did a 90s-style Pacific beatdown to Akron, and they may drop their football program. So.
Hey, they might need to. They're not eligible to be in a bowl game this year, but let's be real. That ain't. They don't need to worry about their academics right now in terms of making a bowl game. They ain't winning 6 games against anybody.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, they have yet to score a point. So What a great move,
dude.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about him.
He needs way more touches.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. This is just pure luck. I forgot about this.
Yeah.
This is the football god smiling down upon us.
Oh, yeah.
And so Mills has a reception in 2 straight games. And one last week for 13 yards. Here's a run.
Right.
And Nelson down to the 28 of...
Oh, that's it. That's right. This is the driver. Lateef comes in, and good Lord, Carter Nelson. That crackback block was beautiful on the end.
Oh man, it was awesome.
That really opened up that hole. I mean, it was wide enough already, but
yeah.
Quinn Ives didn't look like he was moving all that fast. I didn't think he needed to. There was no need to kick it into fifth gear. There was nobody going to get near him. And he's so big, I don't know if anybody wanted to.
So he's still getting used to what it's like with 22 bodies on the field.
A yoink.
Across the formation for a nice kick-out block.
Great block.
Yep.
That's just insane. Yeah. It's awesome to see.
Too many really good gains on first downs for the Akron Zips. I think they said they averaged almost 4 yards per carry when they ran the ball on first down. We've got to shore that up, not have that happen. Because we've got one of the best pass defenses in the country right now.
Yeah.
So we've got to be able to figure out how to stop the run at some point too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, 100%. And that was, I think, the one thing that we saw during the Cincinnati game. What was some of the things we noticed was some of that. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, we got another game to short. I think the real test will be Michigan when Michigan rolls into town. But here's what I'll say before we play the fourth quarter real quick. I just want to throw this out there. Is I very much remember, like, after the Cincinnati game, there was a lot of, talk of, well, the next two opponents are what they are. So how much will that really build the confidence? And I have to say, I agreed with that at the time. But after seeing what we did this last Saturday, my confidence somehow went up. I understand the opponent, but I don't know if anybody predicted a 68-0 blowout. I mean, I think everyone predicted a blowout, but you know what I'm saying, of looking that good. So
it far exceeded any expectation.
So that's what I just remember after the Cincinnati game. I think there was and I agreed with it at the time, a very general feel of, well, the next two opponents aren't going to really inspire us that much. It's just going to have to see what happens when Michigan rolls to town. And I'm like, well, dang, I think the Huskers looked so good this last Saturday. I think they inspired the confidence we were looking for,
for sure.
Some of the small stuff, but hey, that was my observation watching this, as we were watching through it again. I'm like, oh yeah, I actually remember being like, oh, after the Cincinnati game, we're going to have to wait till Michigan to see how we feel. I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, I think the difference, that confidence, Coach, at least for me, that confidence comes from the fact that we've seen far too often over the last 10 years, teams like Akron, similar to Akron, come into Memorial Stadium and not get their doors blown off. You know what I mean? They kind of play pretty well with Nebraska, or we see Nebraska play down to their competition. This is the first game I've seen since probably Solich was coach, or maybe even Pelini on a few of those games back in the day, where I was like, yeah, we never even came close to playing down to their level, other than a few little hiccups in the beginning of the game. But after that, it was like, no, we're Nebraska. We're going to play like Nebraska, and that was that.
Oh, yeah.
So anything else on the third quarter? Are we ready to push on to the fourth? This is fun. I kind of like it.
I will say, I think it was early fourth quarter. My dad wasn't able to watch the game live. He probably, watched it afterward, but he was kind of like you, Ken. He was, not able to watch it live, just other events going on. And he sent me a text, late third quarter, early fourth quarter. I can't remember the exact time. That said, when are we going to put the backups in? Not realizing that the backups are already in and still dominating.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool.
That's one of my favorite moments from the game, was getting that text. That was like, when are the backups going to come in?
Like, well, have I got news for you, buddy?
It's like, God dang. I just thought that was pretty funny.
Yep. Alrighty, on to the fourth quarter we go. What do you guys think of the red end zone? I freaking love them.
I love it. Love it. I wasn't sure how I was going to fit, just being honest. I didn't, you know what I mean? I love it.
I've heard some people on some other media-based podcasts say, well, it's too much like Wisconsin. I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. Who gives a rip what Wisconsin has? This looks very Nebraska. We are red and white.
Yeah.
Red end zone is perfect. God, this play. And then, of course, the flag.
Yeah, dude.
That alone.
I'm with you,
Mosey
Scott. We got to
snap.
get him the ball more.
Yep.
So you don't
And then
do
this
that
dude,
unless you're just a freak of nature.
Yeah.
if he ever gets in the open field, nobody's catching him.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Ty Nelson, nobody. But he had great feet too on that play. Just this move,
The double.
Dude,
Insane.
that is just a dog. That is a dog.
I'll say that was very Jamal Lord-esque in the Texas game in 2002. He played football that night like he was in the Matrix. He was making moves that no human should normally be able to make, and that's kind of what TJ Lateef looked like on that one play. I'm like, wait, what? 2 jukes at once? Wow. Yeah, it's good to see Mackay get a score.
Yeah, we got to do whatever it takes to keep Lateef on our team. I have a feeling he's here for the long haul. Because if Dylan can't win us a natty, I think Lateef has a very good shot at it. And then you got Dayton coming in, and then you got Trey coming in after that.
Yeah, Lateef got me very excited for the
I
future.
just like the fact that he's mobile. I like the fact that he can pull the ball and run.
Yep.
And he's only going to get a little, he's probably going to put on another 15 pounds before next season, or even, 5 or 10 before the end of this season.
Corey Campbell's going to get him right. Don't worry.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Loved it.
That looks like an old school Cameron Jurgens snap right there before he got.
Hey, I was going to say that reminded me of small town Kansas high school football. We didn't have it. Just you see it.
Yeah. Go. Let's see here. Okay, Lateef is still in. That's a good throw right there.
Oh yeah.
Cross his body.
I just love to see how comfortable he got in there. Like he's just so comfortable.
Here's a snap from the 24-yard line here for Nebraska.
Nobody knew who had the ball. Cameron didn't. That was one of those split back formations, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
And I think, yep, here he keeps it. Nice little zone read.
Beautiful, man. I know that's what I always call our plays. My kids make fun of me when I see it on film. I say it when we're watching our film, but just so beautiful.
Yep.
Sight to behold.
But like we've said, we're trying to keep ourselves somewhat in a realistic frame of mind because this was Akron.
And I will say, I am not taking anything away from our guys because I am very happy with this. But I think 2 things can be true. We very much exceeded expectations, and Akron can be gone. I think both those things can be true.
I'm just kind of hoping that Cincinnati has a decent enough season that we can go, well, there you go. We beat a quality opponent because they did take care of business against Bowling Green. So that's right. They did convert 1 4th down. They were like 1 for 14 on 3rd down, though. Not a good day at the office for that offense. Whereas Nebraska, I think, converted like 80% of their 3rd downs.
Right.
Rhule is sitting at number 5, I think, in the country in passing for the season so far. I imagine that's only going to go up next week, unless he doesn't play as many snaps, because I think the competition might actually be a little lower. What a great run. Kenneth Williams. He's got a good name.
Yeah.
Good throw. Good throw by Jalen right there.
I'm glad he did get in the game. As much fun as watching Lateef was, I do think it's a good thing for him. You know what I'm saying? To get in the game. Get some action.
And then to have Davila come in and get that last handoff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
I know,
look at Coach Rhule, man. Dude is rocked up. He's like,
hey, that Corey Campbell stuff is real.
Yeah, it is. I'm guessing he's dropped 20, 25.
Yeah. At least. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's looking real good. Hey, can I tell you?
Maybe that's why you're so damn angry in the locker room after the second quarter. He's freaking hungry.
Oh, that's funny. Hey, I will say I saw some of my friends were saying, if you guys saw when that the new video game came out, the original, like the Matt Rhule that they originally had was a very large man.
Yeah,
He saw that and he decided to kick it in gear.
Yeah.
Heck of a motivator.
Yep, for sure. All right. Well, let's give our Game Ball Awards. Gen Red's Game Ball Awards. I just made one banner for this. Just show all three of ours. I've got TJ Lateef for one reason only. It's the first time I feel comfortable with our backup quarterback situation if Dylan were to go down for a series or two in an important game, or God forbid a game or more than one game. I feel good with TJ out there running, because I don't think they're going to redshirt him. With as good as he is, you don't throw him at number 2 and say, well, we're only going to play in 4 games. That's just dumb, in my opinion, like they did with others in the past. So TJ Lateef, simply because I feel comfortable with him in the game. I love that 2-back set that they throw him in there with, and obviously he can pull the ball and run. And it just gives you a whole new dimension that Dana gets to work with. So, Scott, you picked.
Yeah, I picked Archie Wilson just for fun, because the team exceeded my expectations. They look great across the board in almost every aspect. But come on, you gotta look at the whole fact that Archie comes here from literally half a planet away, and his parents come to see him play in a game, and they don't see him once. That is a man dedicated to Nebraska. I'm going to go to a team that's going to be so good at football, I'm never going to need to do my job. And I'm going to
travel 9,000 miles to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, I did see a bunch of tweets that made me laugh that said, I really hope we punt on first down just so he can get out there.
That would be pretty funny.
I did.
Like, this is for you, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, Coach, that's the obvious game ball.
Yeah,
obviously.
no, I mean, I don't really think I need to say a ton. Threw for over 360 yards, 24 of, I think it was 30 or 31. I knew he had 24 completions. I mean, 4 touchdowns. Like, I mean, it's kind of so. And like we said, as we were watching those highlights, just the layers of throws was just awesome. Like you can't teach what he has. The way he's able to beat that zone coverage and drop that ball in here was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was enjoyable to watch. And like Scott said early on tonight, it was surgical. It looked like he knew exactly where he wanted to go. And when, surgically, not just carving up the defense, but putting the ball exactly where it needed to be, other than, a few of those highlights, it didn't, like the one to Jacory along the sidelines. I think if he didn't have a defender rushing up his left side, he maybe steps up a little bit and puts a little something on that and gets it out in front of him, and maybe we score on that play. But overall, you just cannot fault Dylan for how he's played in these first 2 games for certain. No turnovers, no INTs.
Not at all.
Never put the ball in danger on Saturday, which is pretty impressive. So, all right, we're going to move on. We've kind of wrapped up Akron. We're moving on to the next game in which Nebraska should pitch a shutout. We'll see if we're all going to predict one. These are the score predictions for Houston Christian, an FCS program that's coming in. I think they're 1-1. So this should be interesting. We'll see what happens on Saturday. I'll just throw mine up there first. When we did our Rhule versus reality show, I had us beating this team by 42 on the Rhule side and by 28 on the reality side. I think my thought process was we're going to probably see the starters out of the game a lot earlier in this one than we will against somebody like Akron. So I've modified it a little bit. After what we saw and after what I saw out of the backups and the fact that I think TJ Lateef is the kind of guy that can lead 2, 3, 4 scoring drives before he gets pulled out of the game, I like Nebraska to blank these guys 56-0.
Beautiful.
All right, Scott.
Yeah, so I've got us winning, obviously. My Rhule versus reality was a 28-point win across the board. I've got us having a 49-point win. Our team just looks a lot better than my preseason expectations. And yeah, I think we win 59-10. The reason why I think they score 10 points is because Houston Christian, while they are an FCS school and Akron is an FBS school, I just have a feeling that they're going to do a little bit better than maybe we're expecting. They're a run-heavy team. To put it in comparison, and I don't mean to bring up these almost tragic memories, but you guys remember McNeese State 2014?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, very much.
So they are in the same conference, and they finished in their conference relatively the same that Houston is sitting at in their conference currently. Looking at their stats, offensively, Houston Christian is leading the Southland Conference with total rushing yards with 443. So that's an average of about 200 yards per game. And if we know anything that we knew from Cincinnati is that if they scheme it up and they're a creative offense, they're probably going to put some yards down on the ground with us. So I have a feeling they probably get a field goal. They probably score a touchdown just due to some fluky, whatever. They end up down in the red zone and punching in for a tutty. But then we shut them out in the second half. So that's kind of how I see it going. They do a few things in the first half. Rhule yells at them in the locker room again, and then everything is buttoned up in the second half, and we shut them out. So 59-10. It's kind of how I see things happening.
All righty, Coach. What you think?
I've got a 45-7 win. I think that they're probably on about the same-ish level as Akron. Here's something that I will say that why I didn't necessarily pick 60-something points or a shutout is I do think that this Akron game being a night game played a factor into it as opposed to this game being an 11 a.m. kickoff, right? We've all been to Memorial Stadium for lots of different things. It's just 11 a.m. it's not the same. And there's no way you can replicate it. You know what I mean? There's just no way to replicate that. So
not as much juice.
Yeah, 100%. And that's everywhere across the country. You know what I mean? But so I have that. I do think they're going to have probably one drive where we're not happy about Rhule's not happy about it, probably running the ball all the way down the field and they get a drive and we lose our mind and go. Because I do think that I understand that the level of football that they play, but they do have a game where they scored a crap ton of points this year. I mean, Akron didn't have that, and I understand it's against FCS level competition, but I feel like that has to count for something. Like I think if you lined up Akron against some very good high school teams, they're not scoring 60-something points. So the fact that Houston Christian did it against, I think it was Arkansas Baptist, Arkansas Christian, Arkansas something they played. It was a game that they won by a lot. Sorry for not being completely up to date on Houston Christian's schedule and stats, but no, I think they're going to have a drive. I do think they have a little bit more offensive talent, and I think they're going to be more creatively schemed in the run game. So I do think they could have a drive, and I do think maybe when we get those backups in, maybe they don't perform quite as well at 11 a.m. But again, 45-7, you'll not hear a single complaint from me.
Good point. Yeah, the 11 a.m. thing might be the Achilles heel. It always seems to be when we play these lesser teams at 11 o'clock, the team tends to have less energy. God knows the crowd won't have as much energy. And like the other Dave said, if they're only selling 39,000 beers on a night game, how many are going to sell for this one?
I do think it's a very interesting thing, and that is the one complaint that I have heard so far about the sales this year from the one game was that they don't have the people walking and selling stuff, walking up and down the aisles, which bizarre choice. I don't know. That just seems weird to me because I feel like they probably made a crap ton of money doing that. That just seems really weird.
Yeah, I think so. And I think part of that is because you have to be a certain age to be able to actually walk up and down the aisles and sell alcohol.
Right.
So that may be limiting, and there's that just eliminates a lot of young kids that have done that.
No, I just
job,
one of the things that
who knows?
I just thought of like, hey, if you would have done that, I saw a few people who were saying like, hey, you would have got money from me, but I'm not leaving this game to go do it. You know what I mean? So I just thought that was a weird choice. But again, I think you probably bring up a good point.
The other story I heard from this game is that Luke Lindenmeyer's dad wanted to make sure his phone was charged up well enough so that he could video his son proposing. So he goes down in the concourse, plugs his phone in just as his son scored his first ever touchdown.
That's crazy. I hadn't heard that one. It's
like, don't worry, Dad. There's video.
That's crazy. I hadn't heard that story yet. That's a good one.
That on, I can't remember what podcast I was listening to. I thought that was kind of funny. I felt bad for him.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That was definitely the highlight of the night for me. That and the video I just happened to see like an hour before we got onto the podcast of Hartzog's reaction to seeing the drone show in the sky.
Yeah. I haven't seen that yet.
I love something that Rhule said. I forgot where it was. It was before the season. He might have said it he might have said it on like one of his shows on McAfee or something. He said it at some point. Something that I found really interesting was year one when he was in there, when all that stuff was going on, and be, no, boys, you focus in on this, like tune out that, we're focused on the game. Then he said last year he got to the point that's like, oh, screw it, God, come on, soak this all in. And I think that's the way to go. Yeah. That's the way to go. I just thought that was something kind of cool that he said, hey, year one, he tried to be hey, we're focusing, this isn't for us. This is for the crowd. And I know last year and obviously this year of just, no, boys, soak this all in. This is really cool. This doesn't happen everywhere.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He's evolving as a coach. This team is making some noise, man. I think there's a lot of people that set up and took notice on Saturday. There's a lot of scores like this on Saturday for sure. I mean, there's a lot of teams got blown out, but this is not something Nebraska has done with regularity to non-conference opponents. It just isn't.
100%.
I'm excited to see what happens this Saturday. As ho-hum as a lot of people maybe think this game is going to be. I don't know.
Dude,
I'm going to enjoy watching.
Here's what I will say. And maybe this is just me as a younger fan that obviously wasn't around to see the national championships or even conference championships. I will just say that I feel like in our Husker fandom, and probably I just don't think we should ever be in a spot where we take any of these for granted, man, of like how special was that on Saturday. And if we go out and dominate these dudes on this Saturday, and even if it's not as dominant as what we would like sometimes of, hey, they had a long touchdown drive or whatever it is. I just feel like ultimately, like, we don't get a ton of these. And even if we do have an undefeated season, like, how many of these games do you get a year? How many wins do you get to see a year? So I'm in the mode of just soak it all in. Something that when I was coaching at Spring Hill High School, we played, and I won't throw them out there. We played a very bad team, I'll say, that night, and we blew them out. And we were out celebrating that night, and I just think this kind of carries into how I feel about football in general is winning is hard at any level. Winning is hard, whether it's at the NFL level, the major college football level, the high school level, the youth football level. Like, winning is hard, man. So soak every one of those up. And that's kind of how that is. At one point last year, I started to really embrace that more as a Husker fan. I think it was after the Wisconsin win and getting the bowl eligibility again of just – I think that's when something flipped in my brain of like, hey, you only get so many of these a year. We just got to celebrate every single one.
Yep. Good words of wisdom, Coach. Thank you for offering that. That's a good way to look at it. Child labor is gone at Memorial Stadium, and so are those childhood memories of Hawken Valentinos.
That's a good one. I love the other Dave. He's awesome.
Yep, the other Dave's the best. One of the best for sure. He's always on Justin's show, giving him the business, and we really appreciate all of you who watched the show tonight, watched us as we watched the highlights and talked about them. If you're listening to this podcast after the fact, we really appreciate the fact that you've downloaded it and listened to it. just listening to us talk about something we're watching is probably not that easy for you to do, but we appreciate you doing it anyway. If you'd like to see this video and see what it looked like and watch the highlights along with us, please don't be afraid to subscribe to GenRedPod on YouTube. Also, genredpod.com is our website. You can also find us via email by going to genredpod@gmail.com and sending us an email there. Generation Red on your favorite podcast app is where you find the audio show. And let's see here. What else am I forgetting, Scott? Oh, at GenRedPod on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube if you want to follow the show. How about you, Coach? Where folks find you?
You go to any social media platform, type in at the BA Coaches Show. You will find me. Talking Husker sports all the time, man.
How about where are you going to be to coach football next Friday night, just in case some fans want to come out and support you?
Yes, I will be at Maranatha Christian Academy in Shawnee, Kansas, which is a, suburb of Kansas City. Maranatha Christian Academy, 7 o'clock on Friday nights when we kick off. We're going to be playing against a dang good football team, but we're trying to build ourselves a dang good football team, so this is the type of competition that we need.
That's right. You're not going to get better unless you play someone that's better than you, right?
100%.
Go ahead, Scott. You?
Yeah, you guys find me on X at ScottGenRedPod. That's Scott with 2 T's. The second T is silent. So you can follow me there and see what's up on my Twitter feed. It's craziness all the time.
It's definitely getting a little more active, no doubt about it.
You are one of my favorite follows, just so you know. You're one of my favorite people I follow.
Oh, shucks.
GBR, thanks, guys. Great show, says the other Dave. Thank you, Dave. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate all of you watching, all of you listening to this podcast. And for Coach Scott and myself, we together are Generation Red. Justin will be back with us next week. Hopefully we'll have the full crew to go over the Houston Christian game. So until then, just remember, we're here every single week to chronicle Nebraska's eventual return to college football greatness. We may have seen the beginning this past Saturday night, because there is no place like Nebraska.
And Iowa's corn sucks, and in Rhule, we
trust.
Heck yeah, I'm loving that, man. I am loving
rings. You did a beautiful thing, Coach. You added something gorgeous. Just like a little cherry on top.
One of these days I'll think about it and wear my In Rhule We Trust shirt to practice, so then when I'm hustling home for these, I have it on. I keep forgetting we're doing these when I'm getting ready in the morning, so I'm like wearing just a generic shirt. One of these days I'll remember in the morning.
It's all good,
Beautiful.
It's all good, buddy. We appreciate it. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. God bless, and we'll see you next time.
Go Big Red.